when you say how did I feel about it, my very first award was in Atlanta, Georgia, at the AMBC Awards. My book won Urban Book of the Year. And so to express how I felt about that, when she called my name, I was so excited. I said, "You better shut up," and threw my purse. I threw my purse. And I got up to go get the award. The girl next to me, she was like, "You threw your purse." I said, "My husband will get it." I was so excited. It was mind blowing for me.
Hey everyone, it's Chris Colston and Kimberly Lake from Four Friends in a Book podcast, here with a special edition of our show, which we're calling the Author Spotlight. So, of course, if you guys have been rocking with us for a while, you know we normally are reviewing books, talking about current topics, events, key with these rants, but we got a new segment, a new edition this time. You know, we want to get on the opposite side of those pages and kind of hear firsthand from the author. And so with our Author Spotlight, we're going to kind of be highlighting authors and kind of hearing their experience, their journey as far as becoming a published writer. And so today we got a special guest. We got Miss Felicia Brookins here today. Hey Felicia, how you doing?
I'm doing awesome, super good.
Well, we're glad to have you here on our Author Spotlight edition of Four Friends in a Book podcast. And look, before I even get into the interview, into the discussion, I just gotta tell y'all, just let y'all know how God works. So met Felicia randomly. You know, we had been talking internally within our group, Four Friends in a Book, talking about doing Author Spotlight. So I'm back home in Mississippi for the holidays. I'm out with my aunt and my sister. We just enjoying ourselves, actually celebrating my birthday. And Miss Felicia scrolls up. She knows my aunt. So my aunt is a hairstylist. Shout out to Gloria. Felicia comes up, start talking to Gloria. She just mentioned that she got a book and she need to get her hair laid for this book release, her book launch. And so I'm just listening to her talk. I'm listening to her and I'm like, "Well, tell me about your book." And she started telling me about it. And I was like, "Well, I have a podcast I co-host, which is called Four Friends in a Book. And I think she's here for that." And like I said, it was just a random occurrence, me meeting her randomly. And again, it just shows you how God just pulls everything together. So Felicia, go ahead and quickly introduce yourself to us and those that are viewing. And also, again, since we're talking about this Author Spotlight, give us a little background on how you actually got into writing and how you took that leap into becoming a published author.
Okay. Well, first of all, let me say again, thank you so much for this opportunity. And I do believe it was God ordained the way that we met. My name is Felicia Brookins. I am a 4-time award-winning author of this Christian fiction novel here, Sister Nadine's Ways. I am a very, very busy person. I'm an entrepreneur in some ways. I have a Write the Vision Writers Workshop that I host annually. So I do that. I also have a Prison to Pens virtual event that I host in the spring, which highlights the reform and rehabilitative aspect of writing when it comes to individuals that have been previously incarcerated. So they share their writing journey and try to encourage other individuals to write. I am currently about to launch my second novel, part of the Ways trilogy, which is called Reprobate Ways, and that is this one right here. My journey as far as an author, I would say I always loved to read. So that's where it started. I had a love for books when I was growing up. My mother had a small library, a bookshelf in my room, and I loved to read those books. And every summer she would take us to the library. And the thing for me that I enjoyed was being in a competition to see how many books you could read. So I loved reading. And then I loved English. So it kind of just came together for me. It was a natural progression for me. I eventually did a stage play. And once I did the stage play, I started thinking about, writing a book. And so I just sat down one day and opened up my computer and I said, okay, Holy Ghost, you gotta download into me what I need to say. So what I did was it's Christian fiction, but I call it Christian reality because I pulled some things from my own personal experiences, some things I'd observed and seen. And the great thing about fiction is you can do whatever you want to with it. And so I just rolled it all up. I always call it a big pan of macaroni cheese that I made. And then I just sprinkled the truth on the top of it and stirred it up in there. And so that's how, it started for me, my love for reading and writing.
Wow, that's awesome.
I feel you on that reading because I was an avid reader as a child as well with the little pizza, getting the personal pans and all that
Yes.
stuff. Yeah, I was all with that.
Get your car stamped.
Right.
Today, I got something special for you. We're gonna be making a southern staple. Now with some sauteed squash and onions. Okay guys, we got cabbage is just about done.
Hey, Dad. I need your help asking Jessica to prom.
Of course. Love is like the ocean. You have to tread the
Oh,
waters.
Dad. That's not the kind of help I needed. Hey, Jessica. Will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
We see that you founded something, an organization called Black Girls in Cyber.
So I started these Facebook Live series called Black Girls in Cyber, and I would invite different African-American women who were working in different aspects of the field to come and share their stories, very similar to as I'm doing now, and what their journey was, and to just really create more industry awareness around what this looks like.
Touched on Sister Nadine's Ways. So I went on Amazon because I'm a fiction girl. Like out of everybody, all the co-hosts, like fiction is my favorite. Like I'm excited for it. So I went on Amazon. You have great reviews for this book. I mean, I was like, I gotta get this book. It sounds juicy, everything. So can you just touch a little bit more on the series, like what inspired the series and what you want readers to take from it?
I would say, first of all, again, some of my personal experiences being in the church, some of my observations as a teenager in my 20s, and also some of my own personal things that I had to deal with myself coming up. What really inspired me to want to write it was that I wanted to allow women, men, children, and when I say children, maybe they're about, maybe you're 13 and up, and they may say, well, that book may be a bit much for them, but children experience trauma. And so this book has some trauma in that. And I wanted to give a voice to the fact that, hey, especially women, mothers, we're nurturers, and we need to be more aware of what it is that we're nurturing and what we're putting out. And we need to be more aware of that even more so when we say we're women of God, So I wanted to touch on that. I wanted to make women more aware that you have a great responsibility. And you need to be able to look in the mirror at yourself and say, am I guilty maybe of passing along something to my child or maybe my husband in my household that may cause them to experience trauma by my words or maybe something that I've done physically? I want them to be able to be courageous enough to pick up the mirror and look at it and say, I read this book and that's me. And so I need to do something about that. Or someone may read it and say, wow, that's exactly how I felt as a child. Those are some things I went through as a child. A lot of times I see in an interview that people can wear trauma so long, it's like a coat, and you don't even realize you still have it on. You don't realize that you passed it, And when you say that you're a woman of God, but you carry on the image of it, but not the likeness. Like you got the whole outfit together, and you got the peppermint, you got the handkerchief, you can do a good fallout, you can do a real good dance. But when you get home, that image changes, and then all they see is that you don't have the likeness of what you just showed in the sanctuary. And so that can affect your child's decision as to whether or not they want to have a relationship with God or with the church or even your husband. So it's a lot of platforms in this book. That's just one of them, dealing with intergenerational trauma. Another one is dealing with domestic abuse. And whenever I bring that up, immediately I think people think, oh my God, her husband is beating her. But no, it's not the husband beating her. It's the reverse. Oh yeah, she laying hands on him. It ain't in a good way. It's not in a good way. And then you have teenage mutilation, because of course sometimes children show their pain and anger and hurt by hurting themselves or acting out in some other kind of way. So my character's husband is trying in this book to get her also to realize the great responsibility she has and how what she's doing and releasing in their household is affecting her children and will affect them for generations to come. So I have some people that say, I hate Nadine. Oh, I just want her to get hers. So I say to them, can I submit to you that she's a victim too? She's only doing what she learned. And for her, it's natural. No. And they're like, no, she ain't no victim. She ain't no victim. But she is a victim of intergenerational trauma, because when you read the book, you'll find out that the only person that can do anything with her is her mother. She's the one that passed along the bad seed in the first place. So yeah, there's a lot going on.
It is.
Look, that's good. That's good. And look, for those that are viewing right now and watching, definitely go pick up the book. Like I got my copy, and I ain't started reading yet, but it's definitely next. I
gotta get mine.
I told y'all when we started our podcast, your boy, it's been a struggle for me to read, but I'm getting into it. I'm getting this thirst for reading. So I was trying to juggle a lot of books, but look, Sister Nadine's Way is definitely next on my list. I have the book already, and it's ready to go. So please, even you touching on that, the fact that it is a fiction, but it has a lot of reality in it, and a lot of things that we are still seeing in our communities, in our nation, even in the church. And so I think that's the good thing about even writing a fiction. You can still have some of those things that maybe seem far-fetched, but they're rooted in things that we may actually see going on within our community, within our neighborhoods. And so that's good.
Yeah. I had a book club 2 weeks ago that I taught with. They were my beta readers for this book. But they also had invited me to their book club for the first book for Sister Nadine. So one of the things that one of the members asked me, she was asking about the character Patsy, and she said Patsy just seems to have so much patience. She's able to just take so much. I just can't understand how your character takes so much in that book. And so one of the other things I have to say about writing this is what I had to say to them. I said, I decided this year that I would be more transparent and say to you that character is that way because that character is in a lot of ways me. So, there are people from Meridian that read the book and they say, oh, who is this? Who is this? Is this me? Is this me? That's me, girl. No, that's not you. Well, did this happen? Did that really happen? I said, you just have to read the book and see. But yeah, that's part of it. Also is releasing some things from me that I experienced. And that's why I say, children can experience trauma in different ways too. And so writing is also therapeutic for me.
That's good. So yeah, shout out to the hometown, Meridian, Mississippi, M-Town. We in here.
What about them Wildcats?
And so what you said is actually a good segue into my next question. Because again, we're trying to spotlight the author and kind of hear that journey. And so you mentioned it earlier that you are the founder of Write the Vision, which is a conference that you hold where you are, really bringing together aspiring writers and authors, and giving them information as far as publishing, social media, marketing, and things of that sort. So what advice would you have for anyone that is aspiring to be a writer or an author and to become published? If you can kind of sum it up real quick or briefly, what advice would you give someone looking to step into that lane?
Well, I would say, first of all, decide what it is you want to do. with your book? How far do you want to take the book? Are you writing it just to give it as a cute little gift for Christmas or birthday or something like that? Or are there aspirations that you have once you write this? Secondly, I would say, please invest in yourself as an author. That means attend the workshops. Pay what once you start attending and you start learning what's going to make you a better author, what's going to make people take you more seriously as a author, then you will understand that your investment in that is an investment in you, and it just makes you better. So those two things I would say would be top of the list. Just be prepared to invest. If this workshop is $600 and they're going to teach you this, and this, be prepared to put that out, because you're going to get that back in so many ways.
Yeah, that's good. And I think a lot of times people lose sight of, you have to make those initial upfront investments to get those long-term rewards. And so it may be something that may be a little bit outside of your comfort zone, but again, it prepares you and propels you into that next level. And so you have to make those investments into yourself to really reap the reward and the benefits of, what you really want the outcome to be. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
So you're absolutely right. We're living longer. Our quality of life is better, but we're also experiencing things that people didn't have to experience because the life expectancy was so short.
Right. They need assistance with meal prep. They need assistance with light housekeeping. They need assistance with bathing. It's almost like a one-stop shop.
Exactly. Yes, it really feels like it. I really feel good about my parents aging. I feel like I took some years back, added onto my life.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
Okay.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
Today, I got something special for you. We're gonna be making a Southern staple. Now with some sauteed squash and onions. Okay guys, I got cabbage is just about done.
So, Miss Felicia, I'm gonna hit you with two back-to-back questions. So you mentioned you are an award-winning author. As a creative, you make something, it's like your baby, you put it out there for the masses. And to just get a recognition for that, how did you feel about that? And were you expecting that?
Well, let me first of all, when you say how did I feel about it, my very first award was in Atlanta, Georgia, at the AMBC Awards. My book won Urban Book of the Year. And so to express how I felt about that, when she called my name, I was so excited. I said, "You better shut up," and threw my purse. I threw my purse. And I got up to go get the award, and the girl next to me, she was like, "You threw your purse." I said, "My husband will get it." I was so excited. It was mind-blowing for me. Right. I was like, "Oh my God, my book won an award." And so every time it does that, I am excited about it. I'm happy about it. It makes me want to do more, to get the word out there more, to show other people that this is really a good book. And it encourages me to want to promote it more, to just hustle. I call him my virtual mentor. One of my virtual mentors that I met at a writers event in Atlanta, because I used to travel Atlanta a lot. I did a lot of stuff there. One of the things he said to me when he met me was, "I like your hustle." He was like, "Just keep hustling." And that stuck for me. And so every time I win an award, I'm like, it's worth the hustle.
So it's worth that. Look, that's a good t-shirt. It's worth the hustle.
It's worth the hustle. It is.
Yeah, that's a good t-shirt. So you are an author. You motivate people. You have a blog. You have a podcast. You do so much. What is next for you?
Well, In the spring, I will start tryouts for the stage play for the adaptation of this book, Sister Nadine's Ways. It's going to be called The Brownie. It's going to be centered around this character, so people will recognize this character and they will recognize some of the theme. But I've changed it around a little bit, so that's next on my list, along with working on crossing fingers and toes that I can get Marlon Peterson for my Prison to Pens event in the spring. So right now, I think that's about it. And promoting the new book, because it should be out by then. So I'll be looking for opportunities to go out and meet people, meet fans of the first book, make new fans. So those are the things that I'm looking at, and hopefully that I can even reach a broader range of individuals internationally, because I just did my first international podcast a couple of weeks ago, and I was super excited about that.
Oh, that's great.
When I tell you all, it paid to talk to people. Oh, folks used to say that, and my grandma would say it, but it's true. It pays to talk to people, and so I just ended up with this opportunity for a radio station to do an interview that was in the United Kingdom, but the interview was in Botswana, I think she said.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so I'm excited about that. I was like, well, hey, that counts as international speaking to me. Okay.
All right.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And again, even how we even just met, and here we are now again. And so even what you mentioned in that, of course, and all the things you have coming up, tell our viewing audience how they can find you, how they can connect with you. Of course, we're going to tag you and put your information here, but just give a quick, I guess.
Well, I'm on Facebook on at author Felicia B. That is my book, Felicia Brookins page. I'm also under Felicia Brookins award-winning author. If they want to email me, they can email me at authorfeliciabrookins@gmail.com. Also, Sister Nadine has her own page on Facebook. So, if you'd like to go say something to her, you do that at your own risk. She will definitely respond to you in a manner that, is going to be like, this is what you asked for, so this is what you get. And it's your fault, not mine. That's because that's the kind of person she is. So yeah, every now and then we have some spirited debates on there. And I have to remind people, this is fiction, people. This is not a real person. Yeah, my inbox get a little hot sometimes.
I can imagine.
It's not real. But I love that, because that means that they have put everything into that, their emotions and everything, they're into that book. And
played that she killed Selena in the movie. Like, if I see her, I'd be upset. So that's a good thing. So
they got to the emotions. That's what you want.
Yeah.
I had one lady to tell me, she inboxed me and said, you got me in trouble at church. And I was like, how did I get you in trouble at church? She said, girl, my husband caught me reading that book at church. I didn't tell you to read that book at church. She's like, I couldn't put it down.
That's good. That's good. Like I said, you want that kind of people to get that invested, that notice you,
right?
That you've actually did a good body of work. Anything else you want to, I guess, say to our viewing audience as far as takeaways from your books, your works? Any I guess things that you want them to really kind of convey as you or take away from your work that you're actually doing now? When you put something out into the atmosphere, like what takeaways are you really trying to push home to your readers?
Well, first of all, one of the things, when it comes to my book, the biggest thing I'm trying to push out there is, please be courageous enough to step back and take a look at yourself. We as women are nurturers. It's important that tools or resources you can get to help get it right, as close as you can get it right, use those, but you got to be brave enough and courageous enough to look yourself in the mirror and see if this is you. Again, and understand the importance of your role. As far as aspiring authors, I would say, go for it. You may say, I don't know where to start. Just write it all down. Don't worry about the order of it. Just write it all down. And then begin to invest in yourself to get the tools and knowledge that you need to be able to successfully write that book and get it successfully published. Those would be the two things I would say. Oh, along with, make sure that you get one, Okay. If you don't want to do Amazon.com, you can go to Barnes and Nobles, Books a Million, Target, Walmart.com, any of those. Get this one because you're going to want to know why Ann is acting so crazy in this second one.
That's good.
This one right here, Mama planted all the seeds. Her husband kept telling her, you pouring some toxic stuff into these girls. And so this one right here, you know, what's in the ground is always going to come up. So the first one to pop out the toxic seed is going to be this baby right here, Ann. And this cover, that's another thing. I aspiring authors and soon to be published, please take time to pick out a good book cover. One that's going to make somebody want to pick up your book. Some people want to put their picture on the front of it, but I'm like, you might want to wait on that till you get, you know, like Oprah or something. Right. But get a nice cover. Invest in the cover. Yes, it costs a little money, but it's worth it. Mm-hmm. Your reputation as an author depends on this cover. When I saw this cover, she sent me several, and I kept looking. I was like, it's not quite what I want to say, not quite what I want to portray about my character. And she sent me this. And when I saw this baby's face, it hit me in my stomach. I said, that's her. Everything that she's going through in this book, everything that she does is in the face of this character right here.
That's good.
Chris, you about to make me preach. I don't know. You got me.
Give it to him, sister.
I'm about to give it to him.
Well, look, Felicia, we definitely appreciate you joining us again.
Thank you.
Even talking to us about your experiences as far as becoming a published writer and an author. I'm sure you're going to have a huge following. So for all of our viewers here, look, go follow her on social media. Connect with her on Facebook. Hey, send her an email if you bold enough to talk to Nadine. And also go pick up that book. We're excited to see what's going to be coming from the future, your future works. And again, we just appreciate your time today with checking in with your four friends here on Four Friends in the Book podcast. So we thank you and we appreciate you, sister, for this time today.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. And be looking out for the book launch. I'm hoping to launch in Meridian when it comes out. So
we'll do
for that on social media.
Yeah. Will do. And always, guys, we appreciate you guys for tuning in today for Four Friends in the Book podcast. As always, let's continue to read, let's learn, let's grow, and let's have a discussion here on Four Friends in the Book. Thank you. And go pick up those books. Thank you.
Yes, Hunty. Thank you all. I enjoyed it. Depends on this cover. When I saw this cover, she sent me several, and I kept looking. I was like, it's not quite what I want to say, not quite what I want to portray about my character. And she sent me this, and when I saw this baby's face, it hit me in my stomach. I said, that's her. Everything that she's going through in this book, everything that she does is in the face of this character right here.
That's good.
Chris, you about to make me preach. I don't know. You got me.
Give it to him, sister.
I'm about to give it to him.
Well, look, Felicia, we definitely appreciate you joining us again.
Thank you.
Even talking to us about your experiences as far as becoming a published writer and an author. I'm sure you're going to have a huge following. So for all of our viewers here, look, go follow her on social media. Connect with her on Facebook. Hey, send her an email if you bold enough to talk to Nadine. And also go pick up that book. We're excited to see what's going to be coming from the future, your future works. And again, we just appreciate your time today with checking in with your four friends here on Four Friends in the Book podcast. So we thank you and we appreciate you, sister, for this time today.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. And be looking out for the book launch. I'm hoping to launch in Meridian when it comes out. So
we'll do
for that on social media.
Yeah. Will do. And always, guys, we appreciate you guys for tuning in today for Four Friends in the Book podcast. As always, let's continue to read, let's learn, let's grow, And let's have a discussion here on 4 Friends in a Book. Thank you. And go pick up those books. Thank you.
Yes, Hunty. Thank you all. I enjoyed it.
We see that you founded something, an organization called Black Girls in Cyber.
So I started these Facebook Live series called Black Girls in Cyber, and I would invite different African American women who were working in different aspects of the field to come and share their stories, very similar to as I'm doing now, and what their journey was, and to just really create more industry awareness around what this looks like.